Hey folks, what's up? Yes, this is a live episode. I am here. Look, got to talk about what I did last weekend, which is really cool. One of our favorite characters is coming back with a new series and a new creative team. Global Comics has added one of my favorite publishers, Larger Frame. One of my other favorite publishers has been laying off people, and we've also got a special from a particular anti-hero vigilante, the anti-vigilante task force, Vanessa. Sorry, Vincent D'Onofrio does that way much better. Look, we've got a jam-packed show. I want to talk to you, and we're gonna go from there. All right. So this is normally when I would ask, "Is anybody ready?" But I'll ask y'all, "Are you ready?" All right, cool. Then let's get it going. Hey, folks, and welcome to another episode of The Hungry Bleak Show. I am Antonio Pomares, aka The Hungry Bleak, the hungriest man in the room. You can take that however you like. So, hope you all had a very nice week. Last week, I was not here. It was a pre-taped episode. While you were all watching me, I was in New York for the weekend. Only two people knew that I was in New York. It was a bit of a therapeutic thing. I'll get into that a little bit later in the show. But I hope you had a great week. If you're in the tri-state area, the weather does not care about your life, your health, or your plans. Does not matter. Doesn't care. Doesn't care about whether you put clothes away or not. Doesn't care. You're gonna pull those clothes out. Just have a little bit of everything. Have a little bit of winter clothes out, spring clothes, summer clothes, and fall clothes. Just have that nice little potpourri of clothes out. Doesn't matter. Just wear it because it's gonna change. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But we're going to get through that. And I'm going to talk you through it. All right. I mean, this comic book news, I'm going to talk you through that. What did you think? Relax, calm down, folks, calm down. All right. So let's start with some of the news like I said, I was in New York last weekend. I was there for therapeutic reasons, but I was also there for BookCon. Okay, this is my first time going to BookCon. Think of New York Comic Con, but with novels and such like that. Writers, uh, big publishers, small publishers, and it was a crazy event. Just for someone, I'd never been there. Now, first off, they only use they didn't use all of Jacob Javits. They used the lower portion, and they used the upper portion that you have to use escalators, like the Hudson area, such like that. I believe it's called the Hudson area. And they use that. And then, what's up, Primo? Hope you're having a good Friday. Because we all need it. Yeah, so it was a really great event. I actually loved it. It was my first time there. I was there helping a friend, and I was like, oh wow. We walked in and there were people waiting outside. Okay, cool, great. I went outside to get something. I forgot what I went. I went out and I was like, oh my God, there's even more people. Then there was another line. Then there was another line outside of that line. And I was like, oh, this is going to be crazy. I don't think I want to say Reed Pop is who put this on. And it didn't really make any sense because Reed Pop obviously has been doing New York Comic Con for X amount of years, big events all over the place. They should know better than this. They could have used this space so much better than what it was. It was flooded. I think at a point, even though they knew that they had sold out tickets, because it was sold out early. Because when I went to go get a ticket, once I heard about this event, they were no longer available. I said, "Oh wow, this is going to be really cool." I think they thought because they were novel readers and because it would be mostly women or female presenting people, possibly, that it wouldn't be so wild. It was wild in there. They were like in there, kind of packed all over the place from when I was there. uh, a couple of times. I was like, "Whoa, this is crazy!" Like I said, the line outside was crazy, and it was amazing to see so many people out there, um, even cosplayers and such, and fans who had shirts on for the particular authors or books or series, what have you, that the author's written over there. Absolutely loved it. But I think they didn't expect the fans to be as ravenous. Fans are going to be fans. And we're fans of something because we have passion for it. We have passion for these characters, for this writer's style, for this particular series of books, for whatever it is. And it was really cool. But yes, there were a lot of people there. When I looked, they had a little cafeteria area set up. I went to check out, see what they had. I was like, okay, cool. They had an area where they had, like prepackaged stuff, your chicken salad, egg salad sandwiches, stuff that'll give you gas in probably about 2 hours or so. And then they had a steam bar area. I didn't know what was in the steam bar area. When I went back to check on it, because I was like, oh, you know what? Do y'all need anything to eat? Let me go get you something to eat. And I went to check to see what was up there. Gone. There was nothing up there but Space Opportunity and Soylent Green. There was some of you are too old for that joke, and I don't apologize for it because I don't care. And it was crazy, but I loved seeing it. Seeing the lines for the autographs area was cool. They had phenomenal names. Barnes and Nobles had a booth near the had it was more of a booth. It was an estate that they had outside of the autograph area where people could go and buy the books and then take them up there to the authors in case they didn't have the book. It was crazy, and I love seeing that. I love seeing people's tables get emptied out because people are either uh, past readers and they love that person's work, or they're new readers and they're finding out about these incredible stories in these novels. I absolutely love it. I have to give a shout. I saw one comic book person there, which was cool. Blacktooth Publishing, Omari Malik, outstanding. It was great to see you there as well. Hope you had a great time there, and then having a great time in Brooklyn, when you went, because you were doing two shows at once that weekend. Shout out to your partner, to your girlfriend as well, for teamwork makes the dream work, and for her teaming and being at Brooklyn and tabling for you, and then going to BookCon and tabling for you, so you guys could switch like flip flop. I thought that was awesome, dude. That's something really cool, and I love seeing couples in geek culture, particularly Black couples, what have you, uh, doing that and being there and balancing and helping each other out, in little tight times like that. I thought it was cool. But I would honestly love to go to this event again. I'm trying to get more into reading novels, as I've said. I do have a summer reading list, which is part comics, part novels. Absolutely, there will be some audiobooks in there as well, folks. I'm not gonna lie. I love me an audiobook. But I thought this was a really beautiful event. I loved it. It was only 2 days. It was Saturday and Sunday. So next year it's going to be on April 10th and 11th, at Jacob Javits as well. Hopefully they prepare a little bit better, give more space. Yeah, there were a lot of things that they could have done better, and Reed Pop, being who Reed Pop is, should have known, truthfully. Definitely going to try and get in here next year because I thought it was a really good event, and I want to see how it goes for the 2027 chapter. So yeah, so that was BookCon. Really awesome. Enjoyed it, and it was a fun show. So now let's get to some more comic booky news, shall we? Shall we? Okay. So Miles Morales has a new series coming. Yes. So I am actually reading the Cody Ziegler series now, which I'm absolutely loving on numerous levels, from the writing to the art to the fact that Miles has like anxiety attacks that are affecting his spider sense. I think that's one of the most incredible things, because it having myself anxiety and having anxiety attacks, and how debilitating they were when I was in my teens and my early 20s and into my 30s a bit. Not so much now. I've got a handle on it and I know how to counteract it through all those decades of figuring it out. We have a new series that's going to be coming up now. Excuse me. And this is going to be written by one of my favorites. I'm just such a huge fan of this person, and it is Brian E. Hill, uh, who was writing Blade. I think I'm having some difficulty. Oh, there it is. Who was writing Blade, and a litany of other things. As far as if you want to go superhero, Blade also wrote Batman and the Outsiders when it was Black Lightning heading the team. Uh, I'm excited for this. I want to see where Brian's going to go with this series. Um, I'm just really excited about this. With the last run for Miles, he went through having the anxiety attacks, but he went to Wakanda. He's been a vampire. He's got a lot going on. He's got a lot going on. But in this new series, that's going to be coming out in August, which I have a lot of reading to do because I'm on volume 2, the second arc of Cody Ziegler's run, and I think there were 8 arcs. I want to say eight arcs total for him. I'm not mad about that at all because it gives me time to really enjoy this. But Brian E. Hill is fresh off of Ultimate Black Panther, which I actually love. And the artists are going to be Nico Leon, who's doing Psylocke Ninja. And they're going to be kicking off a new era uh, for Miles Morales. So basically, what it's saying here is, upon returning to Brooklyn after a chaotic trip to the Ultimate Universe, Miles is inundated. I love the fact that they use inundated. Nobody really uses that word, do they? Does anybody really use inundated? I don't think they do. I'm sorry. Is inundated with the trials and tribulations of the teenage superhero struggle, fighting through supervillains and homework, and still finding time to date. Excuse me, still trying to die for a date night or dinner with the folks. So it's a bit of an unwelcome surprise when a dangerous secret from his father's shield past returns with a vengeance and threatens the lives of everyone he holds dear. I'm excited for this. I read those Saladin Ahmed series and enjoyed it, but the Cody Ziegler series is hitting me even harder. Like I said, the art feels so incredible and so amazing because it is dynamic, fresh, and kinetic kicks, and it feels like a Spider-Man book because it's a bit more action oriented with the art, but still has it. Like I said, the fact of the anxiety attacks and that happening. But then I'm going to be getting Vampire Miles as well, which was from the Bloodlust series, excuse me, Blood Hunt series, and that Wakanda. There's going to be a lot going on in there. But this is the cover for the first issue, and you gotta love Miles, man. He's just one of the dopest characters out there. Red and black all the way, back in action. I love it. This is going to be coming out August 12th, and I love this. The fact we've had some really incredible writers for Miles. Sarah Pacelli, which that was the, yes. But then having, Saladin Ahmed, having Cody Ziegler, who I wasn't familiar with Cody Ziegler before. Now I definitely am, and I'm looking for Cody Ziegler books to read because I love this one. But then having Brian Edward Hill on this is just incredible. Simone DeMio, who was doing Moon Knight, always back, who's been doing everybody basically, it did this cover. Simone never misses with art. Never, absolutely never misses. Never misses that with art. I'm excited for this. Like I said, all board. Reading Miles right now is really entertaining me, but also kind of hitting me hard. Again, being Afro-Latinx and having anxiety, and maybe not having a spider sense, but that anxiety when I was a teen really messed me up because I didn't know what it was and I couldn't figure it out. So I'm excited to see what this next chapter from Miles will bring. It's just legitimate. It's just a legitimate happy, and I want to see what Hill's going to bring to this. Absolutely fell in love with Hill, even more so when he was doing Blade, because he had the greatest thing to say when he was actually on the show. I got to interview Brian Edward Hill. Oh my God. He had this incredible thing to say, we don't have to worry about a budget, so we can have them do whatever they want, the characters, whatever they want. And, have the artists do what they like to do. What would they find fun? And then going into that, and I was like, that's a really great point. And some of the things that were in Blade were so astronomical that I was like, if that was in a movie, that would cost so much damn money. So seeing this now and this being a part of my summer, absolutely excited. I'm here for it. Let's go. We're going to be getting Miles Morales. August 12th is going to be a very, very good time for that. I'm legitimately excited for this. I am. All right. So next up is we have got, now you all know I'm a big Comixology person, obviously, right? So Comixology, excuse me, not Comixology, Global Comics. I apologize, folks. Global Comics, which is like Netflix but for comics, as I have said before, and they have used in their marketing. Congratulations to them, and you're welcome. Obviously, they have been adding publishers continuously to their roster, whether it's something that you can just stream on them, or whether it's something that you can actually watch. Excuse me, or something that you can actually purchase and read from them. They've been doing such a phenomenal way with this. Well, now they have a new roster, a new publisher, which I'm an actual fan of, huge, which is Valiant Comics. So they've got basically Alien Books. Alien Books purchased Valiant Comics. I'm trying to think of how long ago it was. Can't remember how long ago it was, but it was maybe a few years ago, I want to say. Well, now they have all of their books. They have Alien Books and the Valiant Books, which is a huge undertaking because, well, that's a lot of books, folks. So what that means is you get Bloodshot, you'll get Archer and Armstrong, which is, if you have not read it, is one of probably the funniest books out there. You've got Renegades. You've got, what else is there? There's a bunch of it, but then you also get alien books that I'm not familiar with. Like I see a book called Spark, which I definitely now want to check out because I love that. You have a book called Momo, Nexus, Black Star, um, Angela de la Muerte. Carabus in the Silver Rain is one that I was looking at before. It's a manga and it looks really cool, which is one I want to check out. You get all of the Bloodshot stuff. You get the Shadow Man books. You get what is it? The Eternal Warriors, XL Manowar, which is another cool one as well. You get Britannia. You get all these great books that I'm familiar with as far as Valiant, but then you get other books that I'm not familiar with as far as Alien. So and I believe they're all part of Gold. Yeah, so if you have the Gold membership, you'll be able to actually stream these in essence, again, similar to Netflix. You get to stream them and read them with your membership. You can also, if you choose, you can also purchase them as well for whatever fee that they are. Sometimes they'll actually have sales. If you do want to purchase books through here, there will be sales where you can, get a certain amount off or whatever percentage off it. Excuse me, it is. I know for a while they had a thing with a streak where if you read a book on there for 7 days, you got a comic for free. Because I got Batman #1, the most recent series, for free after I read for, I think it was maybe a week or 2 weeks. I can't remember what it was, but I was reading and it just popped up in my purchases, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Ninjak, Faith, oh my god, you got Punk Mambo, you got all these great things under Nocturnal. What is that? Yeah, there's so many books I don't know about as far as Alien books, so I'm excited to see what's going on here. Let me just pop on and see what's going on with Spark. The cover looks interesting. I'm always a sucker for an interesting cover, like character design already. Yeah, I'm gonna be diving into a Spark this weekend probably too, or that might become a part of my reading list. I don't know yet. So yeah, that's another plus of going on to Global Comics. Another one that you can read and have some fun with. Always looking for something to read, right? Always looking for something to read. Gotta have something to read. So aside from reading, we also have things that are on TV. And one of the characters that really is popping up now is the Punisher, obviously. Well, we're going to be getting another special. I think this will be like a Moonlight special, Jesus, a Spotlight special. Basically, what they've had for Marvel is they had, as far as like the Marvel stuff on Disney Plus, is they had the Spotlight series where they were these series where you could go and read about these characters. Excuse me, you can go and watch these characters, and they would say that you didn't need to know everything about the character. You saw them in a previous series, and then they would just throw it at you, or you would have some type of knowledge of them from a previous series, like their name was mentioned or something like that, and then you would just go into it. Well, now they've got one for the Punisher, and it's a special presentation episode where it's called One Last Kill. We all know the Punisher will never have one last kill. Just doesn't go with him. So John Barenthal obviously going to be part of this. We've been getting a lot of Punisher lately, and kind of here for it. Not only did we get the return of the Punisher in Daredevil Born Again with our good old buddy Frank Castle, we also know that Punisher is going to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day, where we see him and Peter as Punishers racing through the streets, probably getting ready to get somebody, and he's being bantered at, let's say, by Spidey in that way that you would normally get in the comics, which I'm actually enjoying very much. I think that's great. I'm excited to see what we do with this series. Excuse me, I shouldn't say series, but specials. I like the specials similar to Werewolf by Night, and I'm also a Punisher fan to begin with. John Barenthal does a great job as the Punisher, and I don't know if we're going to be getting a Punisher series. I'm not sure about that, but to get this special, I like it. Even if it was just like an hour and say 7 minutes, what have you, I'm here for it because I enjoy that. Give me something that's maybe just real quick. I don't need a whole, big whatever for it. This Punisher has been wonderfully blended into a world of superheroes where he should not truly be comfortable. You can always see Frank not being comfortable with them, and there's always a nice tension, especially between him and Daredevil. There's been a great, great, great back and forth with him ever since I think it was the third or fourth episode in the old Netflix series where they had this discussion about morality and the two of them going back and forth and discussing what's there. The trailer is actually up on YouTube, or it's on the Marvel website if you want to watch it there as well. I want to see where in the timeline this is and how it will feed into, if at all any, how it will feed into the Spider-Man movie. So basically the overview is Frank Castle returns in this special One Last Kill. It looks like it's possibly after everything with the anti-vigilante task force in New York, and it looks like New York has gone all to hell, and Frank, being Frank, ignores certain things, but other things he has to go after. He has to just truly go in there and take it out. I'm not going to show you the trailer because sometimes we have issues with trailers and videos, and then we are not shown anywhere. But I'm excited by this. I think this is going to be really fun, so please go check out this. Like I said, it's going to be May 12th. Robert's going to be talking about this on next week's episode of our Geek Culture Upfronts, because this is, again, I want to see how this feeds in. Getting back into the MCU where it's interesting, because you want to see where certain characters will fit in with projects ahead of time, knowing that all of them are going to be intertwined, and having the street level heroes right now, who is what we're focusing more on now, with Daredevil, with Punisher, with Jessica Jones, with Spidey, with possible Luke Cage and Iron Fist also coming back, maybe, possibly, maybe a little bit. We don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, and I want to see if there's going to be possibly a movie, or if we're going to be getting another series, another season. It's just very interesting to me. So yeah, I'm kind of here for the MCU again. I want to see what they're going to be doing, but yeah, very interesting. And again, I'm here for it, folks. I'm very much here for it. So something else that we're going to be talking about, let me get rid of this really quick, is unfortunately Mad Cave. Mad Cave Studios laid off, I believe it was 2 editors and some of their staff. Now, Mad Cave is a Publisher that I've talked about, who I am a huge fan of. I absolutely love what they do. But it was reported that they had these layoffs. I hate seeing people leave their job, excuse me, lose their jobs, unless they are people who exactly. But whenever I hear about a company that's really coming up and is knocking against the door of the big two, Marvel and DC, you could even say big three, Image, but Image is creator owned. Mad Cave right now is reminding me a bit of Image as far as having all these different titles and them being creator owned. I absolutely love it. But it was reported for this. So there were another round of layoffs for Mad Cave, including editors James Emmett and Chaz Pangborn, and marketing members and some of the marketing team as well. Anytime that this happens, I also hope that it's a restructuring so the company can thrive and prosper even more. Again, I don't like hearing about people losing their jobs unless they're horrible people. But when there's situations like this, I always think that something is happening internally and they're trying to restructure and anything like that, which is what I'm hoping they're doing. I'm getting new people in, maybe a different perspective, different face. I have no idea, but I feel like in geek culture this has been happening a bit more. Obviously, we had Marvel. Marvel is, I'm sure, is a different set of circumstances from Mad Cave, but a Marvel laying off like a huge amount of people. As a company that, again, is a company I love and I enjoy, I hope this is something that is going to help them prosper as far as becoming next level, getting other people in. Maybe the marketing wasn't working for them. I don't know. But when we see things like this, we always have to take pause, think about it, watch where things go the next month or 2 months. You may hear more promotions or hear someone else is getting hired or hear this, and that, what have you. So, as a company that I enjoy, obviously I'll be on the lookout, catching out what's going on with them because I am here for them. Introduced to them by um, what was the series I started with them? There's so many series. My God, I'm trying to think of what was the first series I read from them. But I mean, I'm in for everything. Like Temporal, Eat Your Young, I love. Speed Racer, obviously. There's so much there. So again, hopefully, this is something that's going to be for the better and will help enrich the other company. I want to say hello, Tia Bookworm. How are you doing? Hope you're having a very nice Friday evening. Sit back, eat something really cool, and chill for the night. I'm sure you have earned it. And that's everything for news right now. For comics, that's a lot. It's a lot. That's a lot. So, right, right. It's a lot. I'm just saying it's a lot, right? Well, we're going to talk about a couple other things that hopefully will make you feel a little bit better, make you feel a little more comfortable, and make you a little more calm, relaxed. No, maybe a little bit. Okay, cool. So, excuse me. I don't have any Kickstarters today. Is because I've talked so much about Kickstarters and there's so many out there. And the one that I'm excited about is going to be coming up soon, which is the Ruth Avenue Raiders. That one's going to be a lot of fun. Damian Becton is writing that one. I'm excited for it. But in that time, since we're not going to be talking about that, I want to talk about geeking on a budget. Told you about that before, right? Geeking on a budget. So, funny story, as I was in New York this past weekend, and Saturday, I pretty much spent my day walking around the city. I was on about probably 3 different trains, going around the city, doing side quests, basically. As some of my Destiny players will know, I was on my hunt for bounties. There you go. And I happened upon a book that I didn't even know was out, and it was Books of Slaughter. This is from the Something is Killing Children universe. And these are the 3 books of Max, let's say. This character I'm very interested in. Very cool. Saw the hardcover book. Hardcover Boom does incredibly beautiful hardcover books, and they do very beautiful ones, especially for something that's killing children. Said, oh, I'd like it, but you know what? I'm not going to spend the $30. It's not. So went all around the city doing these great tasks and everything, and I ended up going to the fragrance shop. Incense galore. You can get perfumes, oils. They're not a sponsor. I just think they're a really cool shop and they're absolutely beautiful. And they have some of the nicest people working there. And the place smells amazing. It's on East 4th and Cooper, I want to say. I want to say East 4th and Cooper. So left there and I said, you know what? I have to still look for this comic. Let me go by Forbidden Planet. Walk down. Beautiful day for a walk. Little nice breeze in the air. It's beautiful. Very sunny. Had a shaved head. My gray is out. Why not do it? Went over there. Looked for them. They didn't have the comics. I said, okay, cool, great. Before I leave a comic book shop, what do I do? I always look at the clearance section. You never know. Went up to the clearance section, looked on one side, said, okay. Then looked on the other side, said, oh, okay. Then I said, oh, somebody must have put this book here by accident because it was Books of Slaughter. I said, oh, somebody put this book in here. So I took it out and I look and I see a tag on it that says $10. The book was normally $35. I said, oh. So I said, let me just make sure that this is the right tag. Books of Slaughter. A book that I didn't know was out, but that I was seeing all day. And then my very last stop that I wasn't sure if I was going to go to, but I ended up doing it because I was looking for this comic for a friend and I found this book for $10. And that is now on my coffee table. As you can see on my IG. I have that. I have in the in the Garden of Light and Shadow. I have Temporal, amazing. I have, like I said, Books of Slaughter. I have Ancestral Recall. I also bought this weekend, loved it, so I wanted it on my coffee table. And I have Musa, Lion of Mali from Ray Comics, also hardcover, absolutely beautiful. Before you leave a comic book shop, you go to the clearance section, discount section, whatever they want to call it, the place where they have like trades that are discounted for whatever reason. Maybe they ordered too many. Maybe it was a return. Maybe there's a little nick on the back of the cover, something like that. Something, I don't know. For this one, there's a little bit of a bend in the back, but if I wasn't scrutinizing, I would not have noticed because the book is beautiful. It's pristine. Max is on the cover. She's a great character that I'm reading, and yeah, I love this. So before you leave a comic book shop, you always go to the clearance section. You never know what you're going to find in there. And I'm absolutely telling you, you will find something there that you did not expect. I can guarantee you. And that's good or bad, what have you. So yeah, go check that out. Something else to check out, your mental health, which is going to kind of tie into what I'm about to say in a little bit, but give me a minute. Also, when I was in New York, I haven't done this in a while, but I had a hungry spot and I've been dying for some Chinese in New York. I've been dying for probably a year or so. I haven't been able to just because of time and whatever going on. So where did I go? I went to a place called Happy Family. Happy Family, new Shanghai Chinese restaurant. Yes, absolutely yes. I'd never been there before, but the place looked amazing. It was just so outside, just looked so pretty. I love the red lanterns and everything. Went in, smelled amazing, absolutely. And then I got my food. I ended up ordering, obviously, the General's chicken. My friend ordered, I want to say, chicken and garlic sauce, chicken and vegetable with garlic sauce, I want to say. Got some spring rolls because, I don't eat pork. And the food was absolutely amazing. Piping hot. The egg rolls were so flavorful, delicious. The General's chicken was absolutely phenomenal, crisp, perfectly fried. The sauce was a nice amount of heat and sweetness and a dark hue, which I absolutely fell in love with. I ended up eating all the rice as well. I had the best time with this food. The broccoli steamed to perfection, delicious. I had some of the chicken, and I don't know why my voice just cracked. I apologize. I'm going through puberty for the 9th time this week. Went to have some of the chicken, vegetables, and garlic. Tasted it. Chicken damn near melted in my mouth. It was delicious. And the food was came out so very quickly. It was a beautiful place to be on a on a Friday night. Well, honestly, probably any day of the week, but we just happened to be there on a Friday evening, and it was so beautiful. I would love to go there. I almost ended up ordering fried rice. I love fried rice as well, to see how that was. But they are on 500 West 43rd Street uh, and 10th. So they're on the corner of 10th and 43rd. Go in, have a great time, enjoy. I even had a grape soda. I don't really drink soda like that, but I was like, you know what? I'm feeling myself tonight. Let's have a grape soda, and I did. Beautiful. Like I said, it was very therapeutic. They had a great menu as well. Obviously, they're going to have your usuals, steamed spare ribs. They got vegetable buns there, steamed roast pork buns, steamed pork mini buns. They got all types of buns, shrimp dumplings, everything. I couldn't even fathom a lot of the menu because I knew I'm either getting chicken fried rice or General's chicken. I'm a simple man with simple needs and simple tastes and simple desires, but my hunger is exquisite and I'm always on that point. So yes, go check out Happy Family Restaurant on West 43rd and 10th. Uh yeah, it's just maybe a few blocks away from Times Square if you're in Times Square. And that's how you get down and you like being in Times Square. I personally do not, because I'm New Yorker adjacent and I don't go there because it's a wild scene. So yes, go check them out, please. Beautiful place. So, final note of the show is this is my bleak perspective. So, like I said, this past weekend was kind of therapeutic for me. Um, I was in New York and I ended up staying there from Friday to Sunday, um, which was very different for me because, I am a caregiver. And one of the things about being a caregiver is my time is not mine. My time is my mother's. Uh, Ever since she had her health issues. Um, and I didn't know if I was going to be staying to begin with. I I packed things just in case. But when I did, and she was good. She was safe. She's doing so well. I'm so proud of all the progress that she's made. It's I'm not gonna cry, I promise. But it's so beautiful to see her do things and try things that she's maybe not sure that she can do since her health woes, and to see her try to do them and how happy she is doing it, it really does. I'm gonna try not to cry. I promise. I'm gonna try not to cry. But it just makes my heart feel really good. So I'm in New York, helping my friend, uh, and just being out and spending the whole day just being out. And Saturday, like I said, went help my friend again. Did I say, you know what? I'm just gonna walk around New York. I've got these things to do. I've got things to look for. I've got to make moves. It's New York, baby. They got to make moves. So I'm all over the city. I'm in Midtown. I'm in Uptown. I'm downtown. I'm all around the town. I didn't go to Chinatown, but I should have, because now I'm hungry and I want some of that. All over the place, and um, it gave me time to really think, because someone said something to me. They said, "You're not really letting yourself enjoy things as much as you should because you're so busy like taking care of and pleasing other people." And it made me think a lot. So I spent a lot of time that day being around the city and thinking, and being on the train and thinking, looking at comics and thinking. And then I realized the process of me thinking, the process of me trying to figure everything out, and the process of, is that true? Do I even know how to truly, completely enjoy something and let go and not feel selfish for it? And it's very difficult. And I realized that that's what I've been doing. I don't get to enjoy things 100% as much as I do because I'm always ready to do something. Even when I was in New York and I was helping my friend, and I couldn't really sit because I'm so used to sitting for 5 minutes to having to get up for something. dinner, or maybe there's something at the door, or I forgot to get something, or I got to get back and get something, or my mother might need something and I don't want her to get up if she's already resting. Back and forth all over. And it made me realize that. And it made me let go a little bit. And I had to really let go. And I'm not used to that now. I realized since my mother's health woes that my territorial nature, my feral way of being is even more hyped up than it was. So I'm very territorial in particular. I might be quiet. I'm standing there, but when it comes to someone I care about, I'm very territorial. I'm standing there and I'm just waiting for something to happen, or I spring into action. And that's not necessarily a healthy thing. That's not really thriving. That's surviving. And that's really being in survival mode, being in that mode of attack. And I can't really do that all the time. And in thinking about that, it made me think about intimacy, and not just intimacy sexual. I'm talking about intimacy in all shapes and forms, whether it is sexual, whether it is emotional, whether it is mental, letting someone into my orbit. And it's different because, again, it's that protection thing. And being around all the books and seeing all these Black women there, which I love, absolutely love. I love when Black women are talking about reading books like fantasy or dark romance or horror or sci-fi, whatever, whether it's like novels or comics, like books in general. I absolutely love it. It's so interesting to me. I love hearing about that. I love hearing about how they enjoy a story and why, and what they see in the story and what they don't, because they're going to have a different perspective than me. And I absolutely love that. And the process for me that past weekend was just thinking about things and doing a lot of healing and everything. I boiled this down to say, trust your process, and how you're healed, but make sure that the process is to help you heal, is to help you be a better person, is to help you truly flourish and flow and enjoy things. Not just hold everything, but actually literally like actually taking it in and enjoying it, whether it's a sandwich when you're sitting in the park, whether it's you're listening to an audiobook, whether you're reading, whether you're watching anime, whether you're drinking some chai and you're enjoying one of your favorite mugs, whether you're wearing one of your favorite graphic tees and one of your favorite hoodies. Enjoy it, flow with it, vibe with it, let it be, stay in the moment. And if you can, let someone that you care about in. Remember what I said before about laughter, intimacy, that's big. This, I'm not gonna be funny, but the sexiest thing a woman can do, well, actually, there's two. One is be accountable, obviously, and the other is make me laugh, like legitimately be funny and make me laugh. Because I'm gonna do things to make you laugh, and then she's doing something to make me laugh. That's teamwork. But make sure that your process is helping you heal and helping you to flourish and flow and be the best you that you can be, and enjoying it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm still processing a lot of this week, but a lot of the weekend, but that process really did help and open me up. And I was like, oh, wow. And when my friend said it, I was like, oh, yeah. And I had to think on that. I had to think on that a lot. And I'm very happy that it was said to me, and it was said in such a direct way. And yeah, it was very much needed. And I always appreciate that from people who know me and who see me and who truly see you. Not just see you, but they see you. It's very important. Yeah, so that's that. Um, but what do I know? It's just my bleak perspective. You already know the deal. So, little housekeeping admin. Next week, we're going to be doing our Geek Culture Upfronts episode Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a lot to talk about for May because there was a rabbit hole I went down, and there was so much in May. I said, geez, we could each do our own episode and still would not be covering everything in May. And then next Friday, we'll be doing the Hungry Bleak episode, which may be the last episode for the summer because we've got something else going on that we're going to have fun with this summer. Myself, Java, and Robert. This channel is going to be the place where you want to be this summer. This is going to be the fun spot. This is going to be the clubhouse. This is going to be the tree house. This is going to be the hangout spot. This is going to be it. Between us and some guests, we're going to be having a lot of fun this summer. We're going to make your summer very light, fluffy, airy, like pancakes. It always comes back to pancakes with me, doesn't it? It always comes back to pancakes, chai, black women, sundresses. Actually, that doesn't sound like a bad day, honestly. Black woman in a sundress. We're out to brunch, having chicken and waffles at Melba's, and I got some chai, some French vanilla Thai. Oh, that's what's up. So that's a goal for this summer. Absolutely. So, folks, on that note, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to do some reading or quite possibly go to sleep, either one. But I hope you've had a very, very good weekend. Excuse me, week. I hope you have a very good weekend. Please be safe. Drink water. Take your vitamins. Eat your eat your meds. What? Drink water. Take your vitamins. Take your meds. Whether it's for a physical, mental, or emotional ailment, I want you to be the best you that you can be. Not trying to please you. Just want to make sure that you're good. All right. And stretch, especially if you're over 35. Stretch. If you're over 45, you know stretching is mandatory. What the hell? Stretch like your life depends on it, because it probably does. Because if you turn the wrong way and your back goes, you're done for the week, son. You're done. All right. You'll have a very good day. Enjoy the rest of it. Please be safe. I think it's Friday. So yeah, yes, Tia, look, stretching is, look, you gotta stretch. I don't care who I don't care if whatever you do, if you are over the age of 35, you better be stretching. If you're over the age of 45, stretching needs to be like breathing. Stretch your legs, your back, your arms, stretch it all. Don't matter. Stretch your toes. I don't care, whatever it is. Stretch it. You have to. Absolutely important. It's Friday, so you may want to check out JD and the gang. They're usually on, I think, around this time on Friday nights, having the best time ever. And check them out. I want to be a lead-in show for other like geek culture streaming shows that are out here now. I think that'd be awesome to be like a lead-in. That's why I love coming on at 7. Anyway, because JD and the gang over at Unstoppable Comics and all the indie creators talking about stuff is always cool and informative, fun, and it's a great way to spend a Friday night. So all have a great one. Please be safe. The anger is still there, but I need to have a better message. So I'm going to say instead, everybody, I want you to do a wonderful thing. And I'll see you next week. All right. All right. Peace. Have a good one. Oh, wear a graphic tee. Makes all the difference in the world. I'll see you later.